Hello folks, this is Sean Yadinchek, and I'm going to take y'all on a tour of my latest project here in Asheville, North Carolina at the Ashevillage Institute. Alright, before I show y'all some of the cool things in this project, like the greenhouse in a pond and the chicken coop connected to the greenhouse, connected to the pond, and this whole recirculating aquaculture system, I'm going to just tease you with that, and then I'll show you where it all starts. One more quick tease of some of the recirculating aquaculture system. Our system starts at the top of the property, where we capture water that flows over land, and it flows into our diversion drain, and our diversion drain is at a 1% slope, and that moves water through the diversion drain and into our upper water catchment, which is an embankment pond. Here's another shot of our diversion drain. You can also place logs that are fully colonized with edible fungi in the diversion drain, and during a rain events, the diversion drain slightly fills up and those logs are automatically soaked. If we need more water during times of drought, we've tied our system into the city stormwater system, and their water flows above our drain grate right there. Debris passes over the grate and water drops into it, and then water travels through this pipe into our diversion drain. Before the water reaches our diversion drain, it must first pass through our first flush diverter, which is this 50-gallon drum, and this removes the first flush of dirty water that comes off the street. There's a small hole at the bottom of it, so it's self-draining in between rain events. We just had a rain event, so you can see the water pouring out of it as it automatically resets for the next rain event. The water then passes into our diversion drain. Here's another view of our city stormwater system tie-in, and there's the valve you can open up, the clean out you can open up when you want to access that water. So we've allowed for several types of filtration. First flush diversion, also the settling pond allows solids to settle out of the water, and those solids have pollutants attached to them, so that helps remove pollutants from the water stream. And then the diversion drain itself acts as a filter with all the vegetation in the soil. The upper embankment pond was placed as high as possible so we could utilize gravity to its fullest effect. On this side of the pond we have the principal overflow, which is an unconventional system which takes it back to the street. And then we have a siphon intake, which is held towards the top of the pond where the water is cleaner and there's more oxygen, and that siphon system pulls water from this pond into our lower aquaculture system via gravity. The embankment pond also has an overflow, an emergency overflow, which takes it back into a swale. In the lower part of the property we have our recirculating aquaponics system, which is connected with our chickens. Chicken area is also connected to the bee area. Chickens control a lot of bee pests, like waxwing larvae, small hive beetles. The design of the chicken area calls for splitting this into 4 sections that can be rotationally grazed by the chickens. As it stands now, compost gets dumped over the fence in the morning so that the chickens have a chance to access that compost and feed on it, and basically get it all out of the way before rats get to it at night. Then all those nutrients flow downhill and collect along this fence, where they can be gathered at the bottom and sifted for soil and compost. The recirculating aquaponics system consists of 3 ponds. This lower pond, a greenhouse pond, and finally a vegetated waterway that, when the pump is running, spills over this waterfall and travels through the small river area right here. And then back into the lower pond. Eventually we're going to have a deck and bridge that travels over and covers up this pond liner and extends over into the water about 1.5 feet. The water in the greenhouse acts as thermal mass, absorbing heat energy during the day and then releasing it at night, giving us about 10 degrees of protection during the wintertime. The greenhouse pond is connected to the chicken roost. Chickens come in here at nighttime and will roost, and the chickens give off about 15 watts of heat energy per chicken. And they also give off CO2, which helps plant growth. The roost has 1 nesting box inside and several nesting boxes outside. And if you let the chickens out, this will probably hold about 9 chickens. There's a drawer at the bottom of the roost that can be slid out for cleaning the manure. And you can also leave it out and then let the manure fall into the pond when the temperature of the water is warm enough to accept the manure and stimulate the growth of phytoplankton. If you collect the manure on the drawer, it's important to remove the manure before ammonia can build to toxic levels and cause problems with plant growth. The roost also has an automatic watering system close to the outside for easy cleaning. There's also a shower connected to the greenhouse and the pond. All the waste water and the waste heat and nutrients from the shower flow into the pond, help keep the greenhouse warm and help replenish the water in the pond. And then I designed this drain down system so that the copper pipes can be drained down during the wintertime to prevent freeze damage. This tray is filled with biofiltration media when the pump is running during the warm part of the year. Water flows into that, and the biofiltration helps break down the ammonia in the water so that you can grow more fish in a smaller amount of area. The water then spills out those holes and into the pond. Here's a view of the chicken coop from the outside of the greenhouse. The 2 nesting boxes on top, those could be divided into 4 nesting boxes. And then both of those cabinet style doors open up and you can slide the drawer out. The plastic right there prevents the heat from escaping, and then you can see the automatic water and then the drawer that slides.